It is forbidden to speak in this convent, because there is a terrible demon inside. If anyone speaks, the demon will descend. Recently, 3 more strange things happened. The paranormal investigation team arrived on the scene. After the abbot made a sign to silence them, remind them to look at the sign on the door. No talking. All electronic devices prohibited. Such an odd rule left Annie speechless for a moment. But in their territory one must abide by the rules. After obediently handing over their cell phones, the believers gave each of them a handwriting tablet. This was the only way to communicate for centuries. The abbot led them through the dark tunnels, then to the priest's crypt. Just a few days ago, one of the believers heard a noise coming from the coffin. When he opened it to find, the priest's body showed no signs of decay, but he had obviously died more than 2 years ago. This is the first miracle here. Ben was ready to extract the genes and go back for testing, but he was interrupted by a believer. They learned through the communication board. This convent is biased against women. Annie knowingly chose to avoid it. After she left, they carried the priest's body to the attic and gave the genetic samples to their colleagues outside. That's when a weird cabinet caught their attention. Inside, an unknown liquid kept seeping out. Ben wants to know what's inside. Jack held up his pad and said, "There's a demon sealed inside." Ben tries to listen for movement, but it's surprisingly quiet. He's about to touch it with his hand when he stopped, and through the tablet, he tells them, this is the second miracle of this place. Meanwhile, Annie is waiting at the door. She met a nun who had spilled a bottle of wine. She was kind enough to help. She helped her push the bottle back into the cellar, just as the Mother Superior arrived with some men. At the behest of the Mother Superior, the nun unwrapped the bandage from her hand, revealing the stigmata in the palm of her hand. This is the third miracle. Jack held up the stigmata. The abbess agreed, and they went over the fence, and came outside. Annie voiced her speculation. She only pushed the cart for a few minutes, and she left marks on her hands. So the marks on the nun's hands could have been caused by years of pushing the cart. Ben thinks there's some kind of calcification in the soil here. That's what caused the priest's remains to remain undecayed. He's going to find out tonight. Jack poked around that mysterious cabinet. Turns out that hundreds of years ago, someone found that cabinet here. They built this monastery here to keep it safe. Legend has it that if you speak here, the demon in the cabinet will break through the seal. Annie was very confused when she heard that. What if someone has nightmares and talks in their sleep? Jack explained that they sleep with their mouths tied, just to keep from talking in their sleep. Then Annie found the nun again, and explained to her, the marks on your hands are from pushing the cart. But the nun looked puzzled. She signaled the believers aside to leave, then blocked the door with a chair. Only then did she feel relieved to take off her clothes. Under Annie's curious gaze, she undid the gauze on her feet, revealing the same stigmata as on her hands. After dinner, Annie was put to bed inside the warehouse. The nun also instructed her to gag before she slept. Looking at the death skull right in front of her bed, Annie kept consoling herself. She also let out a provocative sentence casually. However, at the same time, the cabinet in the attic opened. Demons broke through the seal and came to Earth.